Hi, my name is Natalia and I'm a real estate attorney here in the state of Florida. And today I want to talk to you about A to B to C closings, or also known as double closings, and why some title insurance underwriters don't permit them, or why some title companies don't accept doing them. So this particularly affects people that are wholesaling. And by wholesaling, I mean that you sign the contract as a buyer to purchase real estate from a seller. It could be a distressed person, or it could be just a person that's not interested in having their property any longer. And you have been given the rights to assign that contract to somebody else, an end buyer. So if you are looking at the transaction as A, B, C, the wholesaler is B, the original seller is A, and C is that end buyer or the end investor to whom you have assigned the contract for the property. So in an A to B to C closing, or a double closing, the idea is that C's funds pay for A in the closing. And for a wholesaler, there is, of course, the markup point. So the markup is, you find a property, let's say you find a property and this person's willing to sell it to you for $90,000, and you have found an end buyer who is willing to pay you $110,000 for the property. So let's say the difference in there and what you'll get is $20,000 as a markup. So ideally, under the ABC closing, C's funds, which are $110,000, can pay off the $90,000 that are due to the seller. So why don't some title companies permit this? Well, with title insurance underwriting, the concept is that whoever is the buyer actually has to bring their own funds to closing. And by having to bring their own funds to closing, it's not quite correct that C's funds, which do not belong to B, somehow are going to make it to a separate file, the A to B file, to pay A. So this is why there's some hesitation with title companies or some title insurance underwriters in permitting A to B to C closings. It doesn't mean that it's not lawfully permitted, it just means that you have to go about it the right way. So some title insurance companies require a disclosure, that is disclosure to A that the funds are coming from C. Some title insurance companies requiring everybody to execute all of the documents at once and will hold everything in escrow and not give anybody a copy of the deed or anything else until C's funds are received and transferred over to A. Some title insurance underwriters simply don't allow it. They require B to have like a single day or private financing in order to pay from B directly to A, and then they require those funds from B to pay off, from C to pay off B's lender in that second transaction. So they require like a separate funding for it to happen. And one of the reasons is because for title insurance companies in the state of Florida, they're heavily regulated when it comes to client trust accounts. That is, the account for file A to B has to specifically have monies coming in and designated from B to go to A, and the funds from the account C to or B to C have to have completely separate accounting, separate funding, and all of that. And so because of these requirements, and by the way, they have to, these title insurance companies have to submit reports to their underwriters, to the state, etc., regarding these files and how they're managed. Title insurance companies are hesitant to do it. So when you are shopping around to look for a title insurance company, make sure you sit down with them and you ask them, do you do A to B, B to C closings? You do double closings. How would I be doing it with your company? Am I allowed to use C's funds to fund A? Would I have to have private financing to do so? And just develop a good relationship with them. Understand that they will be required to disclose certain factors, but it doesn't mean that they're illegal. It doesn't mean that they're not permitted. It just means that certain companies, certain title companies, certain underwriters will have different practices, and you just have to be aware of what their requirements are. Thank you, and good luck out there, investors.